I'm most likely gonna be shooting outside from now on because it's nice outside and I need fresh air because I'm going through some things. So yeah. This video is going to be on the topic of being the black sheep of your family. I did a thread on Twitter basically about the positives of being the black sheep or like, the bright side of it. So I wanted to just do a quick video on it because the thread got a lot of feedback and a lot of questions in my DMs and stuff like that. The positives of being the black sheep and also how to tell if you are the black sheep. But if you are the black sheep, I'm sure you already know what you are. And I also want to explain why certain people are the black sheep in their family and what prompts the rest of the family to mistreat that specific person and single them out. The black sheep of the family is the person who obviously is very different from the rest of their family. If all of your family share certain morals, values, or a way of doing things, and you just always kind of deviated from that, and you really can't relate to the things that they are interested in or the way their mind works, then most likely you are the black sheep of the family. And often the black sheep of the family is very rebellious or appears to be rebellious because they just don't think the same way the rest of the family thinks. And a lot of the time they will get picked on and picked apart by the rest of the family because they don't think the same as everybody else. Now, I said in my thread that the black sheep of the family is usually the one that's most spiritual, the one that's most creative, and the black sheep of the family is usually the one that turned out to be an empath or a highly sensitive person. And it's usually the person who ends up going on their spiritual journey and elevating spiritually. So if you are the black sheep of your family, that's definitely an upside to being the black sheep, is that you have a very good chance of moving on with your life after you're away from your family and healing. But there's a very good chance that your family will pretty much remain the same for the rest of their lives unless there's some type of divine miracle or intervention, because the family that usually gangs up on the black sheep or like picks on the black sheep, they usually have a lot of deep embedded issues. And what they do is they take the issues that they have or that they've always had, and they will put it off on the black sheep and put that weight on the black sheep's shoulders. So the black sheep of the family will be blamed for everything that's wrong with the family. Okay. For example, if there's a full family of, let's say, alcoholics, right? And the adults of the family are raging alcoholics and they're violent and they fight and all this and that. Instead of turning inward and looking at themselves like, listen, I have a problem, I'm an alcoholic, I need to go get help, what they'll do is they'll turn on the black sheep like, oh, well, I drink because of where you are, the way that you act, or you drive me crazy, you make me act this way, So basically the black sheep, another word for that would be the scapegoat. All of the family's problems is pretty much put off onto the black sheep. The black sheep tends to be, really traumatized as they grow up because of the things that they have to endure from their family during childhood. They usually don't get their emotional needs met at all, like their need for protection, security, love, affection, attention. The black sheep most likely was deprived of those things. And so when they grow older, they are still actively seeking out those things. So if you are the black sheep of your family, don't think that just because you cut your family off, which I'm going to talk about in a second, don't think that when you cut your family off that your work here is done and like you're going to be good, because if you truly are the black sheep of your family, then you have a lot of self-limiting beliefs that have been embedded into you by your family. Like I said in my thread, the black sheep is usually the one who has the most potential, and the family can see it and they don't like it. It's like your potential reminds them of their shortcomings. So anything that they didn't accomplish in life, if they see that the black sheep can get there. From an early age, they can tell. And they will do everything in their power to try to break you down and destroy you, because they can't allow you to be successful, because that they take that as a personal injury and they're trying to protect themselves or protect their own feelings, because they can't face their own shortcomings. So as the black sheep, you have to be aware of the fact that before you were even born, these people had problems. So their problems are not yours. Like, a lot of the time, these people specifically have kids to try to fix their own problems. Like, if they didn't get enough love and affection from their parents, they'll go and have a kid, right? The kid will be born, let's say that kid's you, and you won't be the kid that they wanted you to be, maybe. Like, you won't be that kid that goes along with everything that they say, or that doesn't have a follower mentality. Like, you might be that kid that's rebellious and you ask questions, and the parents might realize then and there that, yeah, us having this kid to try to mold them into be who I want them to be, to fulfill my own needs or my own downfalls, they're not that now. So now it's time to try to drag them down and bring them down. And that's what happens a lot with the Black sheep. It's really unfortunate, actually, to know that you can have so much potential as a baby, or who comes to this world. Everybody comes to this world with potential. But it's unfortunate that the people who are supposed to love you and care for you, they see that potential as a threat, and they try to like stomp your fire out before it's too late. There's a story that I was told that when I was a baby, that when I was like 1 or 2 or something like that, I knew like the exact time that my favorite show came on. And so I would like go and grab the remote, and I know the exact channel to turn it on. And any other family would praise things like that and be like, oh my God, she's so smart, like she's so this, she's gifted. But instead, I was called a creep. She's sneaky, she's too smart for her own good, and she's a creep, because I knew how to, like, I guess, grab the remote when no one was looking and change the channel. So I was labeled a sneak and a creep when I was an infant. Like, come on now. Honestly, come on. And I think it's I smile about it now because I'm past it, but it's really not funny. It's really it's ridiculous, and it's a very sad existence. A very sad existence. But I just want to remind everybody that if you are the Black sheep of your family, literally there's nothing wrong with you. There's something wrong with everybody else. And it's very hard being a sane person in a sea of insane, which leads me to healing from being the Black sheep of your family. So my advice would definitely be to get far away from your family as you possibly can. Cut all ties with them. And you're probably watching this video right now and possibly horrified, like, I can't do that. I can't just cut ties with my family. Like, I'm dependent on them right now. If you are dependent on your family, first of all, it's not uncommon for the Black sheep to be dependent on their family. Because there is this thing called infantization. I believe I'm pronouncing it right. I'll put it across the screen so you can see how it's spelled. Where basically an abused child will be stuck in a state of being a child, even as an adult. It's like their abusers have put them into this cage of like helplessness, where they feel like they can't fend for themselves and they have no confidence. So if you are a Black sheep, most likely you suffer from this, and most likely you feel like you can't really do anything in life by yourself, and you feel like you're dependent and stuck on your abusive family. And I'm here to tell you right now that the only reason you feel like that is because they have programmed you to feel that way. That's the only reason. They want to keep you around so they can keep on abusing you. So your job is to realize that these people don't have your best interests at heart, and realize that these people want you around because they don't want to see you fly. They don't want to see you succeed in anything. So as long as you're around them and you try to succeed, they're always going to find a way to sabotage it. Birthdays, graduations, whatever. They're always going to find a way to sabotage it. And you're always going to be triggered, because even if they don't find a way to sabotage your happiness, they will not ever applaud you for your achievements. And that's going to trigger you. So my advice is, if you are of age, save your money, save it, and move as far away from them as you possibly can. If you don't want to cut communication completely, then limit the amount of communication you have with them. And you need to be focused on healing yourself. You can't even focus on the things that they've done to you, or hold a grudge, or be bitter towards them, or turn your attention on trying to succeed just to like shine on them. You don't have time. Like, you really don't have time to be doing that. You have to really fully turn inward and focus on yourself, your own healing. Yes, these people did something terrible to you. Yes, they treated you like shit your whole life. But in the same breath, you have to understand that these people are extremely damaged and broken people. Everything that they're doing it on a subconscious level. They don't even realize why they're treating you the way they treat you. And I'm not saying to give them a pass for that or let that be an excuse, but I'm saying that if you come from a place of understanding and you understand why they treated you the way they treated you, your healing process is going to be much, much, much quicker. So, like I said, subconsciously, they're broken already. They're broken within themselves. So you could turn inward right now and realize that you know, you have potential to do great things if you just heal yourself and let go of any animosity that you hold toward them. So coming from a place of understanding, limiting your communication with them, and rebuilding relationships or forming new relationships with people who love you is important too. You have to dilute a negative with a positive, or that's the only way you can remove a negative is with a positive. So if you have a bunch of people who are constantly tearing you down, going into isolation is not going to help you at all. You have needs as a human, and most of your needs have not been met in childhood. So now you need to have those needs met, and you need people who love you and support you. And I know that sounds crazy because we're taught that, you know, we don't need anybody. We're not supposed to need anybody. But the truth of the matter is, if you've been abused and you have not been loved your whole life, you need love. Like, that's the only way to combat that fake ass love that they were giving you is with real love. So, and I'm not saying to force real love, like go out and desperately search for somebody to love. No, don't do that. The more you heal yourself, the more you take care of yourself, the more positive, loving people you're going to attract your way. Self-love is going to attract love from other people, from other sources, because self-love, it just projects onto the world and it comes right back to you. So anything that you put out is just going to mirror and come back to you. So if you're loving yourself, you're going to attract people who love you. And I'm pretty sure you probably have people right now in your life who love you. Even if your self-care or self-love is not where it needs to be, I'm sure there are people who love you right now. And those relationships are the relationships that you want to nurture, and make sure you keep in touch with those people and keep those people close to you and continue to treat them well. Don't shut them out because of what other people have done to you. Oh, and that person for me is my sister. Hi, Juju, if you're watching. I know she's watching because she watches all my videos because that's my sissy. And she supports me fully and loves me fully. I love her to death. And my sister, that's real love. And it definitely dilutes all the bullshit. You know, like my relationship with her is like on a whole nother level than any type of petty shit that I might have been going through with my family. You know what I'm saying? It just like cancels it out times 10. So definitely nurture your relationships, and definitely stick with people who love you, because you deserve motorcycle, oh my god. Because you deserve to have people around your corner who love you. Now, if you are a teenager or a child who cannot move out of their house or who's not independent, my suggestion would be to find something that you love to do. And every day you make sure that you do that thing at least once a day. Try to drown out all the negativity that's going on around you. Focus on keeping yourself as happy as possible until it's time for you to leave, for you to move out. So I will end this video by saying that if you are the black sheep of your family, hold your head up, keep on creating, because I'm 99% sure that you are an artist. You are talented and creative in some way. I can bet my life on it. And if you are the black sheep, I can also bet my life that you're probably on a spiritual journey. Keep on walking on that path. Keep on walking on that spiritual journey. If you can combine your creativity with your talent and your spiritual journey and end up making money off of it, that's even better. And the more recognition, I guess, you get from your creativity or for your art, for your work, the more people you can help in this world. And I do feel like black sheep were specifically put here to raise the vibrational frequency of this planet and to inspire other people to do better. And I feel like that's why we do end up being the most creative type of people, the most sensitive type of people, the most loving and caring type of people, because we were put on this earth for a mission and a purpose. And you need to be using your gifts to give back to other people, because you have been appointed a responsibility. And responsibility not in a heavy way, because you're not required to. But if you're the black sheep, I can bet you any amount of money that you're not required to help people, but you enjoy helping people. So continue to do that. All right, so that is it. I hope that you found this helpful. I hope that the noise in the background wasn't too much. When I edit this, I'll see if I'm going to be still recording outside or if I'll be taking it back into my office. We'll switch it up and see. All right, guys, so thank you so much for watching. Be sure to thumbs up if you like this video, and be sure to subscribe if you have not already. And if you are the black sheep in your family, feel free to comment below, share your story, share your hardships. If you've overcome it, then let us know how you overcame it. I always want my comment sections of my videos to be almost like forums for us to help each other out in our healing and growing process. So that is it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. I'm most likely going to be shooting outside from now on, because